We're here at Chix, and my name's Sunny Blendy. I'm a sports nutritionist, and I'm here to talk about sports nutrition. Sports nutrition really has a lot to do with the timing and amount of food. You can only take at certain times when you're exercising. You can only ingest, you can only absorb at certain times, and the kinds of fuel you're taking really makes a difference. For instance, a really healthy meal full of complex carbohydrates is great when you're sitting down to dinner. However, it's not going to fit that well on your stomach when you're bouncing around running or swimming or riding your bicycle. We're talking about healthy, nutritious, organic food. So we're going to talk about pre-nutrition, during nutrition, and post-nutrition, that all-important 30-minute window.
Think about it more in a circle. All right, so we're not going to think about getting up in the morning, having breakfast, and then ending our day and going to bed. But we're going to talk about getting up in the morning, eating throughout the day, and that last meal, dinner or a late night snack, is actually setting you up for your next day's exercise or day. Instead of just having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we would actually be better off to have more, like 6 meals, but make those meals smaller. Because we really are meant to graze. When our bodies are hungry, we want to refuel. Try not to go more than 2 or 3 hours without food, because that's what will keep our metabolism up. When we start getting that hypoglycemic, when that blood sugar really dips, one of the things that happens metabolically is we stop burning fat. We go into just burning those carb stores that we're trying to save for our exercise.
Start your exercise fully fueled. That means come to it having either eaten breakfast, eaten something a few hours before that, like a large meal, or starting your exercise by fueling with a gel or a block and some water. You want to start early and not get behind. During your exercise, you want to keep those carbohydrates coming in. So even though you might be expending maybe 400 to 600 calories an hour, we can only absorb about 240 calories an hour, maybe a little more with practice. Some of the carbohydrates we can use are actually simpler, so they are 1 or 2 molecules worth of maltodextrin or glucose polymer, brown rice syrup. Those are the kind of carbohydrates that our muscles use preferentially during exercise so that we don't have to spend a lot of time digesting them. They're ready to use, going right to our muscles, translating into movement and exercise. Great for sports performance. So how do we take these in? One of the things you can do is set a timer on your watch. Every 15 minutes or so, take a little bit of carbohydrates in the form of a block, a gel, and some water. After you stop exercising, what your body is looking for is fuel. So now you have used up a lot of the stores of carbohydrates or anything else that you have in your body, and it is looking for more fuel to keep your metabolism up. That is the all-important 30-minute window. During that 30-minute window, we have the chance to actually take our carbohydrate calories, and instead of storing them in our fat cells where they would normally go, we can store them in our muscle cells. In fact, we can double store our muscle glycogen with that 30-minute window following exercise. What our body is saying, we've used up some of our carbohydrates, we really want some, and we're going to shunt double the amount into the muscles. Even if you're not exercising the next day or the next few days, those calories from the carbohydrates will stay in your muscle cell for future exercise. How much? How often? What kinds? Well, we want to eat about 200 calories, and we'd like it to be in a ratio of 1 part protein to 3 or 4 parts carbohydrate. A Luna protein bar with a piece of fruit or a Luna bar and some water is the perfect thing following your exercise.
When you're putting Luna products, when you're putting Cliff products, whether they be a bar or whatever, they're mostly organic, they're nutritious, they're natural, all right? There's some good things you're putting into your body. So even though I don't really want your Luna bar to become your meals, I certainly would like you to have them in your car, in your backpack, every single place that you could have them, because you need to not miss that 30-minute window, and if you didn't plan correctly, at least you'll have it there. everything I've told you so far, the pre, the during, the 30-minute window, all of that, I keep hitting this. You can throw all that information out if you're dehydrated. None of it works if you're dehydrated. So first and foremost, I would like to see everyone be drinking out of their bottles. And these bottles are great, by the way, because they keep things cold about twice as long as a regular bottle, and they're not cold to your hand. I love these things.
So remember, make sure you're fully fueled coming into your event, and make sure that you're fueling during your event. Start early and don't get behind. Don't get dehydrated, don't get low on calories. And when you're out there, have fun with your fellow friends.